Greetings, Ben Murray here with another edition of SaaS Metrics School. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. So, a question from a reader about SaaS metrics. And when we have customers who are late paying and we may have to freeze their account, we may just have to terminate their subscription. And how does that impact our SaaS metrics? And this is very common in the mid market enterprise type motion where we're invoicing annually. They pay manually by ACH, wire by manual check. And we're waiting for that renewal. We're waiting for that check to come in. We've invoiced them. Maybe they're on, now our evergreen clause within our master subscription agreement. So we're just kicking out those annual invoices until they say they want to cancel. And sometimes, and oftentimes, we just don't hear from our customers. So it could be a month past their anniversary date. Maybe it's getting 2 months past their anniversary date. We've reached out. Are you going to pay this invoice? We've talked to our customer success team, our sales team. Hey, can you reach out to your contacts? Are you going to pay this invoice? And we need to know how that's going to affect our metrics, because is that churn? Is that going to flow into our retention metrics? So there are a couple things here. One is the reporting of it. And often that's why sometimes churn reporting is always changing in those last couple months of those reporting periods, because we're waiting to hear back from our customer. We've invoiced them. They've told us that they've said nothing about cancellation. So we just assume that they're continuing as a customer. So we have not marked them as churn in our churn report yet. And that's very common. We've invoiced them annually, and maybe our RevRec has started. So it's flowing through our revenue schedules. It's flowing through our MRR schedule. It's impacting our retention schedule. So everything appears normal, but we haven't heard back from them. But usually I have a threshold where if we don't hear back in a certain amount of time, we have to take some accounting actions here, even though customer success may be still working with that customer. But on the accounting side, now it's doubtful that maybe we'll get a collection, we'll get a payment on that invoice. And now maybe we've got to back out that invoice. We've got to back out that RevRec because collection is uncertain at this point. And from the accounting side, now that does impact our metrics. It's going to impact our retention schedules. It's going to impact our churn reporting. So we have that finance and accounting side, and maybe on the customer success side, they haven't marked them as churn yet. But on the accounting side, we have to take action, because we can only hold that invoice for so long and have it flowing through revenue until we hear back from that customer, because maybe they just will never get back to us and never pay us. So that does impact our metrics. So we have to think about our bookings reporting. We have to think about our MRR schedules, our retention reporting from an accounting finance perspective, where we have to be a little bit more black and white, very strict with the data, versus say on the customer success sales side, where they may be still working with customers. So think about how that impacts our reporting. And also that churn reporting does change those last couple months, where maybe they finally get back, maybe we mark them as churn, and they do finally get back to us 2 months later. And oh yeah, we'll pay that invoice. Great, perfect, everything. Now we just collect payment, we take them off our churn report. So just think about if you have that type of go-to-market motion, that contracting cycle, where that could impact our subscription metrics and how we want to handle that internally.